determine our champion for the Spark Rebellion Open.
All right, so
And,
what decks do we have here?
Yep, we have Iden Versio command on the left, and we have Sabine Wren command on the right, played by Kyle Kramer and Evan Fitzgerald.
Yeah, and we have kind of the classic aggro versus control here. Sabine is very much a deck that wants to go at your base, shorten the game with her leader ability that does 1 damage to each base. And then, what does the Iden deck do?
The Iden deck is made to kill things. It is every turn, I'm going to play a removal spell and remove something. It just tries to the classic control strategy is let's make sure nothing happens for as long as possible, and then get you to a point where you can't really make anything happen anymore, and then we win.
Right, and we have some spice in the Sabine list that Evan put together here. I see some benthic 2-tubes. I see Wolf, which is thought of as an Iden counter because it stops healing. So, and both of these players did very well in the Swiss, and would have been playing for 6-7 hours at this point, I think, in the night for a big cash prize. So there's quite a bit on the line. All right, let's get to the match. Looks like Sabine has initiative, which is relevant.
Yeah, Sabine made the most important play, which was win the die roll.
and the Iden player correctly against Sabine often takes initiative immediately. Sabine gets a ping-in of 1 base to each time. Look at that organized play promo, Sabine. You know, it's there in the foil. It's a beautiful card.
Yeah, this is the setup for the control deck, right? Take initiative right away, and now everything you play, you get to remove before they get to attack with it.
Right, and it's extremely important to kill Sabine's turn 1 play. Right, because 2 of the best cards she has are Fleet Lieutenant and Wing Leader, and both of those are real stinky if you don't have a unit to put on them.
Yeah, and if the Sabine deck is unable to like double threat, it's gonna just not be able to deal damage for quite possibly the first 3 turns, right?
Yep. All right, and then we have a Starwing Scout played by Sabine, which is a 4/1 space unit. I think what
if you have the initiative.
Yep.
Because if it dies, you're going to need to draw 2 cards. But
Iden has claimed twice instead of using her heal ability.
I think that's correct.
Yep. I suppose it's only on then. All right. So the quintessential anti-Sabine card, Consortium Star Viper, comes in, restoring 2 for Iden and killing the Starwing Scout.
Is that the best? Is that when Iden usually wants to use its green base early in the game?
Yes. And in particular, I mean, a Consortium Star Viper matches up very well against Hero Red. I think the Starwing Scout is kind of a answer to that because it has 4 attack. It can kill it. I mean, against a A-Wing or a Red 3, it smashes it and lives and continues to restore.
Yeah. So Evan's going to flip Sabine and Fleet Lieutenant it in for a total of 5 damage.
Yep. 6.
And add another 2/2 to the team.
Yeah. So Sabine has a significant board in the ground area.
That was a good turn 4 for Sabine. Putting 3 guys out is going to help quite a bit.
Yep. So a Death Trooper comes in, takes care of the special Force Soldier, I think it's called. The 2/2 1-drop.
Spec Force Trooper?
Spec Force Trooper? He's a 2/2.
You're right.
He makes people lose Sentinel. Seasoned players will often call a random card that just lost Sentinel. Sometimes itself. Ideally, if it doesn't have Sentinel. All right, I didn't take some damage. 2 health units. Okay, one thing that when you're doing sideboarding, which hasn't happened yet, but 2 health units are poor into Villain Green for a couple of reasons, particularly Villain Green Blue. Death Trooper's one of them. Another is Super Laser Tech. I mean, anything that the ramp card can kill is kind of a blowout there. All right, the Fleet Lieutenant comes in. Regional Governor was played. I don't know what he called. A lot of times I would call K2.
Yeah, that's a good one. For a cause, maybe. But yeah, K2 seems like probably the best play here.
Yeah, at this point, all right.
Wolf?
And he gets a wolf out too. So that's a problem for Iden because when he attacks, he stops healing. A K2SO! Look at the judge. Look at your staff. They put a piece of paper out there telling us regional governor called K2SO.
How did you get that to happen? That's crazy.
That was somebody there.
No, I think you willed that into existence.
I played a game or two before. It was all I was saying is what I would have called at that juncture. A little bit later on, and I called for a cause I believe in.
All right, there is going to be an overwhelming barrage on this Death Trooper.
Yeah, so it's 5 damage to assess. He's going to take care of Wolf, the Starwing Scout, and put 2 on the Fleet Lieutenant, is what I imagine.
So I'll tell you, Loopy, I was playing an aggressive deck last night, and when I played against this deck, I tried very hard to keep their board clear, just to keep this overwhelming barrage card from blowing me out.
Yep.
And it's pretty good for it. It worked out well for me.
All right. Oh, a Rebel Assault is good here, though. Rebel Assault hits for
8 damage.
4. Yep, 8 died, and she's going to go to 19. So now she's in range of losing to for a cause I believe in. Okay, she needs to get some heals. One of the very few cards that does damage from hand is a staple of the Sabine deck of any color for a cause. And often is the finisher.
One of the in Magic we call that a burn spell, and this is one of the only ones in the game, really, right?
All right. So, Iden deploys.
Pretty much always 4 damage.
Yep. So the Death Trooper's going to clean up Sabine. That is a defeated. Yes, Iden triggers on that. The leader does not leave play, so it doesn't. A leader dying doesn't turn on Boba's ability, but it does count as a defeat for Iden's heal. Regional Governor kills the Fleet Lieutenant.
Yeah, it's the big.
Iden heals another.
This looks like a control board.
Down to 16. And then Sabine takes damage to 7. He has initiative. So the Starwing Scout, if you have the initiative, has card draw attached.
Yes.
I'd be-
cards.
Yeah. It's great when it's on. Now, Sabine can have a hard time keeping initiative if she's using her ping. You usually don't. We'll see what happens here.
Only 9 damage.
Yep.
It's going to be
a heroic sacrifice with the Starwing Scout is a good play. So that's going to do 6, I believe. And allow him to draw 3 cards.
And yeah, that's kind of a scary one of cards when you're at 23 or 20 22, right?
I counted to 22, so
It should be
But
20.
it is 20. It is 21 because
Oh,
Iden's heal gives her one back.
yeah. You're right.
So the players had that right. But the cargo jug healing for 4 ruins Sabine's day.
Cargo Juggernaut. Did you see Bad Batch today?
Bad Batch, I did not see
Yeah.
today, but I was and I was
It's
commenting.
all about spoilers. It's all about Cargo Juggernauts.
Oh, I am not. All right. Yes, I was talking today. I was actually I haven't watched the episode now. I didn't actually know it came out today, so we're gonna go watch that probably right now because I'm very much a fan of season 3 of Bad Batch. They've had some guest appearances by some of my absolute favorite characters.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but there's a bounty hunter that I really, really like that had a short appearance that's going to be a leader, I think, in set 2 of Star Wars Unlimited.
Better be. I'm excited.
One of the best Destiny decks. It's Cad Bane. I mean, he does very little in Bad Batch, so. But there is a Destiny deck that was all full of action cheaty mid-range stuff, which is totally my jam. And we'll see if he has kind of a similar design in Star Wars Unlimited.
So I'm not I don't play much Destiny. Are there similar themes to the Unlimited cards to what they did with characters in Destiny?
Let me think about that. Well, Vader hits like a truck in both games. Shockingly.
Yeah, as well he should. Evan's really struggling here, I think.
The game. I mean, we'll see if Sabine can mount a giant comeback, but I mean, at this point, I think this is one that's going to go control.
Yeah.
I mean, he's showing 9 damage. And this is what happens. Now, turning off the heals is good. Wolf turns it off when played and when attacked. He's going to clean that up. I mean, Ida just needs to not get greedy. The barrage there on her, really might have sealed the deal. Sabine takes 6.
Gotta attack 6. And one more.
I will say some of the spice in the Sabine deck does weaken for a cause somewhat, because he does have a lot of cards that are not heroism aspect.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like good old 2 tubes.
Mr. Two Tubes. A great card in particularly Sabine Red, which is a deck that I've put a lot of time into. Can do just 6 things when combined with regression and ready. I think we were talking about that before we commentated. Alright, we go into this round with Iden on 17. It looks like Sabine is at 16 now. Damage. Both bases have 25 health, is the rear base. Sabine has initiative. Yep.
I feel like the Iden deck's just gonna win by attacking with all its guys.
Takedown to take out the red 3 and heal 1. One struggle of Iden is, I mean, Sabine does not have a great way to remove her. Most Sabine decks, this one included, don't run removal. Evan scoops, seeing the writing on the wall.
Not a single for a cause I believe in around that game. He has them, right?
He has 2. He has 2, and I don't know. In somewhat due to the popularity of the deck. I mean, at least on the outset and the release of Star Wars Unlimited, the rares that play in Sabine, K2 and for a cause, were priced more than most legendaries.
Yeah, they're really popular.
All right, and we got some sideboards going on here, I think. So saw him bring in the wing leaders. Looking for damage
He's bringing
early.
them in.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think I like that.
I don't think I like that either. Well, actually, I do. And here's why. Power of the dark side. Wing leader does provide some natural protection to things like Avenger and Power of the Dark Side because you have a body to sack, to it.
Yeah, but it also like it's worse against all the other spells though because you're like pumping up a guy. You're just kind of losing.
The eggs in the basket approach.
Yeah.
Now the card that Iden has the hardest time removing is the Sabine leader, right? Because an immediate takedown will get it, but that's hard to sequence that way. I mean, Sabine will typically play around that. If you can get a wing leader on her,
Yeah.
you can't hit it with anything other than Power of the Dark Side, which then requires Sabine to be the only unit on the play. So that might have been the thought pattern, there. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Many,
I guess
many Sabine decks would have it mainboarded, so it wouldn't be a sideboard thing.
Sabine players feel pretty good after board though. It's just starting with 16 damage.
Well, I imagine that'll get removed. A shout out to whoever put the little K2SO paper, on there to tell us what the Regent Governor called.
One of those Jasons.
One of those Jasons. You have some great staff, BK.
I agree. Well, none of the people running that event were my staff for the store. They're all volunteers who wanted to run the event. But yeah, Jason, and Laura did an awesome job judging this event and holding it.
Yep, and
making rounds on time,
and you had a judge stationed at the feature table throughout. The other two were moving through. I mean, for 35 players, 3 judges is great. I do think Fantasy Flight provides some judge support packs, so hopefully, some of those get that.
I hooked him up with some promo packs for at least. But yeah, I'd like to see. Hopefully, they get some good judge rewards coming.
Yep. I don't know if you know this, but Taxter Nick's teammate is the head judge for Star Wars Unlimited. Period. So Nick goes by the Gandork, but he's a very, very nice guy and responds very quickly to rules questions. And I think that the rules are very well drafted and clear. So shout out to all the judges. These events don't happen without judges.
Yeah. Love my judges.
Right. All right. We're going to round 2. Sabine will retain initiative. These matches tend to resolve quickly. I see a K2, a wing leader that was sideboarded in the Sabine player's hand. That's for a cause, I believe. So Sabine has a good hand. May not have a turn 1 play, which is real bad.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna say there must have been because you would have mulled with Sabine if you had nothing.
Yeah.
Yep, she has a Sabine unit.
I throw anything back. Doesn't have a turn 1 play with aggro. It's the first rule.
Iden's looking for removal. Dodges the lane, okay, which is very important in Star Wars Unlimited. Being conscious of what is where, with an Inferno 4 to fix her draw. She probably does not have Power of the Dark Side or Cell Block Guard, or she would have taken initiative there.
Or Death Trooper.
Yep,
or Death Trooper doesn't save it.
Yeah, not without the ECL.
Yeah.
And the Death Trooper dies because it has to do its thing. Ooh, Sabine pinged instead of taking initiative on the Inferno 4 play. See if it...
Man, I just like think initiative has to be worth the damage, right?
Yep. There's the ECL cell block card. From the decision point, I want to say that was probably top decked, but he punishes the decision to ping.
Yeah, instead of pinging, they could have attacked for 2 or 3.
Right. We'll see what Sabine does here. Red 3. Wing leader. A very sad wing leader, and that is why. I mean.
Yeah.
So. I mean, the sequencing there.
That's rough.
Yeah, so. And had the wing leader came down with initiative,
Yeah.
the cell block guard would not have been able to kill her. Either.
Yeah.
Because he would have probably wing leadered his Sabine unit, I imagine. Because if he had anything else to play other than wing leader, he would have there. Because wing leader without a unit to target is not good. So that's a tough series of events for the Sabine.
4-5 Sabine. Pretty good place to be.
Mm-hmm. Right, and you'd have the kind of natural protection for Power of the Dark Side that we're talking about, in that that's really the only thing that's there. On 3 resources you can't take down yet.
Well,
here,
I mean...
Here comes a K2 with ECL.
They do get to remove the wing leader with the Inferno 4 and then Power of the Dark Side. But not before they've taken 5 damage.
That's true. That's true.
The Iden deck has dealt more damage than the Sabine decks.
This is the turn that Sabine deploys. Iden is playing a system patrol craft. I was wondering if he was going to pass there and represent takedown. Chooses not to. Has the initiative.
3, 9 to 8.
Yep. And this game can close in a hurry. I mean, a heroic sack of K2 here is 9. Sabine will probably have 5. I see another K2 in the hand, too, which is a good news for Sabine.
Yeah, the Aegir decks can definitely turn the corner quick.
Yep. And he did have the takedown. I do think that that's the correct play and correct thing to do. So we might have an interesting play come here, because K2 has a when defeated effect. That's strong. It does 3 damage or discards a card. If he plays another one, because it's unique, he actually gets that ability, as well as a fresh new health. K2, he chooses for Wolf, which is smart, given Iden will deploy next turn. When Iden deploys, her healing becomes insane.
Yeah, she can just pull so much life out of nowhere.
Yeah, so now Sabine is thinking about taking the initiative, which is the right thought to be having right now. Because you gotta get the hits in when you can. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a Rebel Assault is gonna be... It's probably game, right?
Yeah, Rebel Assault. I don't think it buffs Wolf. I don't believe he's a Rebel. I think he's a Fringe clone.
Oh, yeah.
But it would buff K2.
Awkward.
He has the ability to do 3 damage from hand with his other K2 because of the when defeated effect. So yeah, I think you're close. Also, very relevant for this turn, the attack with Wolf turns off healing for the rest of the round, whether she kills it or not.
Yeah, so he's going to want to probably swing with that first.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, he has Rebel Assault and can take the action economy of attacking with both at once.
Well, he doesn't get to attack with both, right? Because it's not a Rebel.
I believe it can attack with anything. I believe it's attack with
It's
2
just a
units.
plus
If it's a
one.
rebel, it gets +1.
Yeah.
Let me verify that. I don't want to misspeak. There.
What do you think about Wolf not being a trooper?
You know, I wonder how much Clone Wars show they've even watched. He clearly is a trooper. So. It's always a trooper in my heart.
All right, no life gain for the Iden deck this turn.
I'm also salty about Baze Malbus, which is a great card, not being a rebel. Because he'd be great. He's going to take out Wolf here. He's not going to help him by killing the K2. Oh, he does kill the K2.
I mean, it stops 4 damage.
Yeah, stops 4 damage. I suppose you're right.
$19. Cause.
He has one of them, I believe. If I saw the card at the beginning of the game.
You have to draw both copies that he has.
Yeah. Here we have the other K2. Yeah, here I think it's safe if he has another 2-drop to develop his board some. I doubt he'd leave... The item player would leave this much damage and 3 resources remaining. So he'll ping.
Okay.
Sabine has to do 5 damage to win. He very well could be holding another wolf. Okay, so he's got 4 cause, I believe, in Heroic Sacrifice and Steadfast Battalion. Read him and weep at him.
He's almost... The Sabine deck is almost dead.
That's true.
Swung with everything.
Sabine's at 14. Let's see, what is he representing if he goes all the
9?
All the base, yeah, 9.
You put him to 23.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Wait, what happened?
I think Ida might have scooped. This is my guess.
Oh.
Because he knows he can't stop the Heroic Sacrifice. And Wolf.
I saw the hand with the classic see your hand scoop.
Right. The Viper probe trade, too. There you go. One thing that I find about Sabine players that's pretty amusing is if they have lost a game and they're at 24 health, oftentimes you'll see a Sabine King to kill themselves, which I appreciate. I do the same thing with Vader sometimes. You know, because you can target your own base with your Vader ping. You know, you choose the easy way out. The honorable death. Right, like the old samurai, method of we don't go on.
You did not kill me. Let's just go on the record here.
Vader gets another kill. Sabine's got a pretty good hand again. I see a Battlefield, a Marine, or Wing Leader, and a Rebel Assault. I can't tell if the red event is heroic. It is Heroic Sacrifice.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So, and
is it a Rebel?
Yeah, he
is
is
a Rebel Assault as well.
And I think I saw a Fang Fighter too. So, the decision point there, I believe, would have been pulling in a Fang Fighter to potentially deal with Iden's shield. And a lot of upgrades, or any, in the Iden deck.
Yeah, but I'm only going to have to deal with one of them, right?
Right. The shield on Iden, the shield on the Cargo Juggernaut.
Yeah.
He does have shielded units. Alright, let's reset the scoreboards. This time, Iden has initiative.
Yeah. But Sabine has a 3/3.
All right. Battlefield Marine. Very vanilla and very strong. So he's going to ECL in to kill the Marine. He's going to see a Rebel Assault, a Heroic Sacrifice, a Fleet Lieutenant. Good,
Heroic sacrifices.
good play. Save 5 damage. If you ever finish a game and haven't used your energy conversion lab, you did it wrong. Particularly against Sabine. I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's... How good would aggro be if there was no energy conversion lab? I think that might be why the base is pushed, you know?
Right. 19 of the 35 players were on Energy Conversion Lab. I believe we checked.
I was not. Foolishly.
But bravely.
If I played Green Han, I might have just 30 based it. 5 life is a lot.
It's not every deck. It's not every deck. I do think we had a Han player on green top cut with an Echo base, which is a 30 health base.
Yeah, that was James Wallace.
And we saw a match with him. I don't think we had any of the finals with the Han green at the feature table. In fact, Alex, the eventual champion, I think was the one that knocked the Han deck out.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about that, but he did it by the...
The Han deck had played Boba Fett like almost every single round of the tournament.
Right. Which was... And there wasn't actually that much Boba Fett in the field. There was 2 very good players, one from Milwaukee and one from Madison, that both top cut. But for the popularity of Boba Fett, it was not fielded anywhere near as much as I was expecting.
Still, like, fairly significant to him.
All right, so he 4 causes very early in the match.
Maybe 3?
Getting 3.
Probably bad. Did he leave Heroic Sacrifice on top?
Yeah. It is a card that... I mean, the thing about Iden is you got to do the damage when you can. And you actually kind of want to kill your units before she comes out. Because...
Yeah.
I mean, she can heal a lot with something like a Super Laser Blast that kills 5 things. Takedown. Takedown on the play. Very strong.
Yeah.
Another Battlefield Marine. Trying to reset the board. All right, Iden's Inferno 4 comes in for 2, bringing him to 7. We'll catch up the score right there.
Another cause.
1, 2, 3, 4. He hits all 4 with Horror Cause, bringing Iden to 12 damage.
All right, almost halfway there.
And Iden spent most of her resources on takedowns, so didn't have any ability to really develop that turn. Comes in with initiative.
Yeah. You board your ramp spells out against aggro. It seems like you don't want to be spending those early turns.
I do, and people talk about this. Not everybody agrees with me. I do take resupply out of my Vader deck. It does depend what I'm playing.
I think Vader might be a little different. Maybe not. I don't know.
Vader is real tough. Okay, so the Cargo Juggernaut there is huge. Healing 4 because it sees the Inferno 4.
It's a big one.
But it gives Sabine a little bit of an in here because the Battlefield Marine is not dead. as it usually is. I do keep my super laser techs in against aggro. And when I'm playing Vader, I have the Snowtrooper Lieutenants to give it some reach. 4 can kill a lot of things.
Yeah.
2 not so much. I was beginning to say before, Villain Green, it's tough to have 2-cost units. Villain Blue Green. I mean, you have Death Troopers, you have Super Laser Techs. And that can be rough.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the 3-2 in general.
I take my Viper Probes out against Sabine 100% of the time. Or excuse me,
Yeah,
against anything but Sabine. Against anything villain. They only make the deck because it's good into Battlefield Marine. Here's Red 3. Coming in with ECL to take care of the Inferno 4. But he wishes he did that last turn. Probably didn't have it yet. If you know they have cargo juggernauts in the list, you need to be conscious of blue units. Because it's in there primarily to heal. Though also
you only heal if there is a blue unit in play, correct?
Right.
Although Iden is.
The Iden player has a beautiful showcase Iden.
Yeah.
Boy, is that a sharp looking card.
That was one of the first packs I opened had a showcase Iden. One of my prize packs from the pre-release had one.
Oh. And then the hook was sunk.
Yeah, it was. I've been trying to collect them some.
Yeah, in fact, I think Misty sells signals. So if you're in the Wisconsin area, you're looking to complete your set, there's some there, right?
We do, yeah. There's a showcase Han Solo available there. So, most of them are hiding in BK's collection. Yes, most of them are hiding in my binder.
I actually opened the equivalent of 8 boxes. We did open Showcase Sabine in the third to last pack of all of them.
Oh, nice.
So, and then a Vader in the right one right after that. So we ended strong.
Yeah, I don't usually get sucked in for those like fancy versions of cards, but they look so good.
Mm-hmm. I wish there was a Showcase Vader. I typically play with the Gen Con promo / Learn to Play promo Vader. That's a big Battlefield Marine hit. That hits for 7.
So
the 3
6, right?
plus 6 plus the red 3.
Isn't it?
Red
Well, heroic sacrifice is +2, right?
Yep. So, oh yeah, no, you're right. It was
2 + 2 + 1. But then he gains a life.
And then he gains a life, right?
It's only 5.
Then 10.
So brutal.
All right. Takes initiative. I think I saw a Traitorous in Sabine's hand. This is another spicy card for that deck. No valid targets right now.
Yeah, little landed targets. We get a 21 and 2 giant shield guys on the other side of the table.
So Iden on board is representing 8. You see Del Mico, which is kind of a spicy include for Iden, which has makes events cost more.
And restores 1.
K2.
SO.
Yep. Take down the red 3. And it goes to 15.
Wing.
Who plays? We'll see if Iden attacks here. K2 will do 3 damage when it dies to Iden, but then heals 1, so it's only effective 2 damage. Alright.
Needs 8 more.
Oh, he takes a ping.
7 more.
Iden does attack. Yep. I think he used both his 4 causes on board earlier this game.
Yeah, he used them both very early in the game.
Heroic Sack does an effective 4 damage only because of the death. Wing Leader's not bad right here. Well, we haven't seen Barrage either, and by this point in the game, you'd be surprised if Iden hasn't drawn it.
Rolling Barrage?
Yeah. Overwhelming Barrage is a 5/5 villain event that gives a unit +2/+2 and spreads damage everywhere that the controller wants. And it's keeping a lot of things. The wolf is relevant there, so Iden will not get to heal this turn.
Makes that A-Wing a little bit scarier.
Deciding what to kill Wolf with. What's the hurry?
I want to attack Wolf. I just think so.
I'm not sure what happened there. They're talking about. He's thinking about who to attack.
I think he thought he was restoring one and then was corrected, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, because he wouldn't get that because of Wolf. I think you're right on the nuts with that.
Yeah, the Sabine player can't really stop the Iden player from killing them this turn, as far as I can tell. Unless they can kill them.
I think you're right. I mean, Sabine lists typically do not run much removal, if any. The Cargo Jug is probably going to attack base.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the Bad Batch article with Cargo Jug there. A Rebel Assault, a Starwing Scout, and a Hearty Handshake, and that match is over. All right.
I don't know if it was an actual Cargo Jug or not, but it did remind me of the Cargo Jug a lot.
Did it heal everybody when it saw something blue?
Yeah.
All right. So what are your thoughts on that match? That was a great control versus aggro match.
It looked like the aggro deck had some pretty clunky draws. And also, like, it did come into play a lot of, like, 2 health characters getting punished for having them. That certainly looked like it.
Yep.
Was tapping a bit.
Yep, I think Sabine needed to win the first game when she had initiative, and then the third game when she had initiative, presumably.
Yeah. The third game was just rough. There was like so little pressure early in the game for Sabine,
Right.
and to the point where he's just playing those for a cause of belief ends.
Yeah, and it might have come down in the end to that ping on round 1, right? Because I mean, it's a tough because in the end he drew, and I think he top decked it, right? Because I mean, knowing the quality of the play, throughout the tournament, I want to say that if Iden had the cell block card in hand, she would have just taken the initiative, because she had an answer to Sabine, So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Yeah, that game. Yeah, that was the second game, right?
Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
Or was it the first game?
I thought it was the third, because then I know that right after that we had a wing leader, with nothing. But all right. Well, thanks very much for watching. We will be back tomorrow with the semifinals of the Misty Mountain Games Open. Anything? I think this is the last game you're commentating, BK. Anything you want to tell the viewers?
Well, there's 2 more great matches coming, and appreciate you having me. It was great watching some Star Wars with you and talking about it.
We look forward to commentating the May 4th tournament.
Yes, May 4th. That's what you're trying to give me to say, wasn't it? Yeah, May 4th, next tournament. Pretty sure, I was locking it down today, but I think I'm just doing this with a guaranteed 1K. So coming out when you're sure of that $1,000.
And I hope you're commentating me in the finals.
Yeah, I plan on it.
All right, very good. Thank you.